Okay, so 2008, David Hill, Vineyards and Winery, Estate Riesling, 2008. What it says in the back of the bottle, it says this Riesling comes from vines that were planted in 1965.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old vine American Riesling.
Old vine American Riesling. So, there you have it. Let's do it.
Not really familiar with any of these. I may have tasted this before, but it would have been years ago. Probably before I was even writing up notes.
It smells pretty damn good. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Wow, it's nice bright apple. I'm getting a little bit of like the petrol stuff that you get kind of on German Riesling sometimes.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of. When I took the taste with the rinse, I was like, oh my gosh, I think we're in for something.
A little bit of a meaty, earthy note, just a little hint of it on there.
The acidity's popping out of the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, along with the apple fruit.
Inviting nose. Make no mistake.
A little bit stony, a little bit petrol-y. Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Okay.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, acid's definitely on the lighter side. Getting good zip along the palate. It rises up again in the finish, definitely dries things out a little bit, sits there on the back of the mouth. Not quite ringing all the way through, but it's definitely got a nice touch to it, I think.
And the petrol flavors do show just a tad on the palate as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is, and maybe it's coming from like the ripping acidity or the sharp acidity on this one. There's like a lack of body on this wine that I wish there was just a little bit more going on as far as weight, or but some people might like that it's a little light-handed.
And we've talked about this in Rieslings from Oregon before. Really getting me hard on this one. Asian pear, all over the place. I think when we talk about the lighter flavors,
right?
The Asian pear's got a little bit of that watery side.
Nicely.
And as it runs out on the finish, it's even more of that. You're getting like the peels, you're getting the residual, meat of the fruit flavors. And it's delivering, full on Asian pear. I think almost directly. There's a little bit of like apple going on too.
This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is real nice. And the acidity is definitely just light, and I mean it's strong but not heavy like the previous wine.
Yeah,
a delicate acidity.
And I think this puts it in line with other good ones we've had from Oregon. What was the price point on this?
Like $16.
Nice, yeah,
$50.
Definitely worth checking out. So I'm going to go 87 points on this wine. I think it's pretty good. It's hitting some really good fruit notes, kind of consistent with other decent Oregon Rieslings that we've had in the area. There's nothing that really makes it stand out as exceptional to me. I drink a lot of Riesling, so it kind of takes that special something to bring it up, too much higher than that. But I think at the price point, it's quite solid and, definitely an interesting wine.
Excuse me. For me, man, I struggle between 88 and 87 points because it does offer some of the neat complexities that I like in good Riesling. The petrol-y flavors, the minerality on the nose, and just a touch of it on the finish. That said, I just wish there was a little more body, like a little more power throughout the entire experience. It just seems a little too delicate for my palate. That said, it's a really nice wine. I'll go 88 points on it. I like it, and at the price point, a total winner. And if you're into Riesling, especially New World Riesling, something to check out. So.
Cool. So nice. At least one we're both kind of excited about today. That's pretty cool. Here we've got the Anam Cara 2008, the Nicholas Estate Riesling. It says it's from the Chehalem Mountains, which is of the local appellation, something that I'm a little less familiar with.
You always pour me big rinses in small pours.
Yeah, well, I've been backing off. I've been so good about the rinses.
We're reviewing wine.
I've been so good about the rinses there.
You have been actually pretty good.
I know. Are we supposed to just take like one tiny sip and spit it out? Right? Isn't that how you review wine?
Yes. Yes. It was funny once in a while at the wine conference you ran into somebody and say like, I'm not spitting. I was one of those people for a little while, and once you get to the first
once you're on wine number 50,
speed wine session, it's like nope, I have to start spitting something.
Yeah, it's a lot. Definitely spitting in those contexts, but here we're hanging out, enjoying the wine a little more, and you definitely get more out of it, right? You can get an impression of a wine for a single sip and a taste, but the difference between that and what you get, when you share a bottle with somebody and taste it from beginning to end, it's night and day. It's a whole world of difference. So I really encourage you to do that. As we talk about thinking about your wines, really trying to figure out what different flavors are there, different ways to appreciate it. try and do that all the way through, from your first glass to your last glass. Try and enjoy how it changes. It's a really great part of the experience, I think. What do you get? Wow, you're drinking it already.
Yeah. You were talking so much, I got thirsty. Burn. The first thing I thought when I smelled this wine was like, is this Riesling? Is that far off? Like there's something that reminds me like almost I don't know.
Like pear skins, I gotta see that. If you told me this is a Chardonnay, I wouldn't call you out on it.
Right. I was hating to say like maybe like an unoaked or very lightly oaked Chardonnay.
Yeah, there is this like heavier creamy note to it, some pear skins, maybe a little bit of something earthy, not like the bright nose that you associate with a lot of Rieslings.
Right. This is a little fatter and just fruit mainly on the nose. Pear skins, some like nice apple, but not a whole lot more.
Starts out nice. Wow. Although again, nothing that screams Riesling at me. Now I'm thinking like Pinot Gris almost.
Right.
I'm getting full-on pear flavors, which is something that I've been noticing more across a number of different grapes. So maybe that's my palate, or maybe that's something that is kind of common in a lot of white wines. I'm not quite sure.
Is there something blended into this or something? I don't know.
That could be. Yeah, I'm getting.
This is a really interesting Riesling that doesn't drink like a Riesling.
Yeah, like
if you're looking for white table wine, this is more along those lines. I mean, just
full on pear fruit, pear skins, a little bit of apple.
Yeah. Really, the acidity just is almost it's there but not there. Like it's completely away from all of the fruit. Like the fruit is definitely in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
On top of everything, and the acidity is just doing its job in the back end, cleaning up the palate.
It's kind of mid-strength, and it is. It's coming in really late. It's kind of got this like slow rise on the end, where it dries things out a little bit.
Right.
Makes the mouth water a little bit, but it's not. Yeah, it's not really integrated into the whole experience. Yeah, which kind of puts me in a weird spot. Yeah, I would never guess this was.
And fuller body too.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Entirely. Yeah.
Full in the mouth. Lots of fruit. Strange wine.
And decent on its own. Like we're both kind of confused, but if someone was just like, "Yeah, here's a white wine, give it a try," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty nice."
Pretty tasty, yeah. And definitely refreshing, being is that the acidity is just doing enough to do its job, and the fruit is definitely in the forefront. There's a lot of body. It is quite refreshing. Like this makes it a good summer wine, but this is a Riesling show, and in that case, I'm really not feeling it that much. 85 points.
That's where I was going to put it too. I think that's right.
It's a nice one.
That's right where it falls for me. Just as a general white wine, it's pretty well put together, enjoyable. Nothing really jumps out at me with it, but still, still enjoyable drinking. I happily have a few more glasses of it. Yeah, 85 points is where it's at.
All right.
What do we got for question today?
That's the show. So, so one of the things I took away from this whole Wine Bloggers Conference was Twitter. I'd never used it before. Got showed TweetDeck because everyone was on TweetDeck, and kind of drank the Kool-Aid and totally understood now. Like, wow, Twitter's actually pretty freaking cool. So, what's your Twitter handle? Can you post it up in the thing? And if you are on Twitter, do it. What is it? At wine is SRSBIZ.
I'll put it below so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
But if you put it up, we'll follow you. Chaz sends out messages pretty regularly. Keep in touch, and we'll see what you have to say.
And it tweets every show that we do. So I have a feeling that like pre-show, I'm going to start tweeting stuff like, "This is what we're thinking for the show." What do people think? I don't know. It's the whole joy of that. It's like it's IRC, except on the internet, all the time.
To everybody.
Anybody know what IRC is?
All right.
If you do, you got nerd cred. Okay, let's move on.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.